Hello and welcome to today's little helpful marketing video. I hope you're having a really good day, and this video is going to be one that really helps you to get your plan all sorted quickly and simply, so you don't overthink it, so that you don't make mistakes on procrastinating and put yourself off planning, because planning is something, actually, it's like my go-to procrastinator. I don't know if anybody has ever had this. When I feel that I'm not good enough, or that I haven't quite got the system right, or or I will tell myself, I just need to plan it, and then I'll plan for hours and actually won't take any action. So planning is something that I'm pretty good at, but hopefully this session will help you. So welcome to today's session. If you've never seen one of my videos before, my name is Jenny Bush, also known as the Equine Business Assistant, and I am social media and marketing coach, trainer, business coach. So I help people with their businesses, and I also help people through their social media, their email marketing, all that digital stuff is what I do. And I either do it on a done for you capacity, or I train you to do it really well and simply. So we're going to look at planning today. And the idea is that we want 2020 to be an awesome decade for you. Absolutely. It's going to be the start of an awesome decade. And the idea is to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. We're going to be looking at choosing your goals for the year. We're going to look at setting up your planner. So if you've already got a planner from me, or if you've got a different planner, we'll look at how you can set that up for the year so it's super efficient. And we're going to map out some goals for the next 90 days that are actually achievable. And so I'll talk a little bit about my steps for goal setting that I work through with my clients, and that hopefully will give you a little bit of an aha moment, because I know it was really super powerful for me when I learned the stuff that I'm going to teach you today. Okay, so dig out your notepad and pen if you haven't already. I'm just going to move my face to the top of the screen, if it will let me, just so that I'm not out of the way. So the first step, as always, when it comes to getting our goals right and getting everything ready for the next year, is we need to know where you are now. Now, if you saw last week's video, which was all about doing an annual audit, so the idea was to look at your whole business, to look at where you are across the board. So we talked through all the 6 Ps that I like to work through in my business coaching, where we go through your planning and your preparation. We go through your personal development. We go through your products. We go through pricing and finance. We go through processes and promotion. If you haven't done that, I would suggest that after you've watched this video, do go back and make sure that you've done a little bit of an audit so you know where you are now. And the purpose of that is because you can't get to where you want to go if you don't know the place you're starting from. And it's tricky, because a lot of the time we feel we're not where we want to be, and we don't like to particularly look where we are sometimes. I don't anyway, but it's really super important to know where you are now. So what do you want to achieve next is what I want to ask you. And what we're going to look at is both short and long-term goals. So if you take a moment at some point, either to pause the video now and actually ask yourself what you want. I don't think we ask this very much. I don't ask it nearly as much as I should. What do you actually want to achieve next? Yeah, is it to be in the next year, or the next 3 years, or the next 10 years? It doesn't matter, but you need to know what it is that you're aiming for. So is it you're looking to turn over a certain amount in your business? Are you looking to move abroad? I mean, it could be absolutely anything. Are you looking to buy more horses? Are you looking to get some more assets in your business, or to move premises, or to get some new stables built, or an indoor school, or are you just looking for less work, more money, or less work, same amount of money? It's up to you, but you need to know what it is that you're looking to achieve, because if you don't have that plan, it's very difficult to get to where you want to go. And I'm sure you've all been there, though, where we've not had the map. It's the same as getting on your horse and expecting it to go and do the dressage test and not telling it where to go. Yeah, your horse needs the direction. So does your brain and your subconscious to make this stuff happen. Otherwise, you could just end up anywhere you feel, anywhere your horse feels like, or your brain wants to take you. So take some time to really map that out. Now, I have got a few resources that I use for mapping it out. Sometimes I do it on a bit of a wheel. I've worked through like the wheel of life before, with people where you just take a piece of paper and you draw a big circle and then you sort of write what it is that you want, put it on there. You can go through various sections on that, or you could just do it on a spreadsheet, or you could just do it on a piece of paper. You could do it on Post-it notes, whatever's going to work for you. Have a start, just sit and journal and work out what it is that you're actually looking to achieve. So when you go back to your audit, was there anything that you learned that you really, really must take note of? Was there anything that you decided that you're going to stop doing? Yeah. Because it's key that you keep reminding yourself that you need to stop doing what you were doing, because if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you always got. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that. And if you want a change in the next year or the next decade, it's going to take some learning, some self-learning, to be able to move forward and to change old patterned behaviours and old patterned beliefs as well is a massive one, because they can really stop our progress, our beliefs. So let's have a quick chat about goals. Okay. Because I find this is where it gets really, really tricky. I don't know about you, but I have always struggled with goals. I always know what I want, right? I've sat there, I want. Yep, I can do that till the cows come home. I really can. But then somehow there was a disconnect between what I wanted and how I got there. And I want to talk a little bit about some things and why that disconnected. So first of all, it's about knowing what it is that you want. Now, for me, one of those wants was an income goal. And I struggled to achieve this income goal. And you're going to work out, I'll let you work out as we talk along why I struggled to achieve it. I have since achieved it, but at the time there was a massive, massive disconnect. And a lot of people talk about setting SMART goals. Now, I had to write down what SMART is, because I always forget this. And for me, it just made it very complicated. And I'd set this and I'd go, right, okay. So the S stands for specific. Now, specific, we can get pretty specific. Yeah, I'm a dreamer. I can get specific. I don't know about you. So, like, for example, if your goal was to have a house, I could say, right, I want to have a 4-bedroom detached house with a nice place for me to work, and I want all this. You have to get really specific about what you want. And the reason that we need to get specific is because that way we know when we've got it, partly, but it also tells our subconscious and our brain exactly what it is, because there's many different options and it might not be what we want. So you make it specific. Now, I can get that one. Yeah. The next one was measurable. So that means that you need to be able to measure whether you've achieved it. Yeah, most people can do that. Like, I would say I set a goal that I wanted to earn £10,000 this month. Yeah, that's specific. Yeah, it's probably not specific enough. I probably need to say how I plan to earn £10,000, but it is. There's a specific number. It's measurable. I can check in my bank account. I can check on my accounts that I have actually achieved that. So technically that ticks the achievable box, the measurable. Then the next one is for the A, which is attainable. So is it actually sort of a realistic target for you? If you've never earned £1,000 in your business, it's not very easy to earn £10,000, yeah, because you're not going to believe it's always achievable. So it does need to be something that you can achieve, and then it needs to be relevant, is what the R stands for. But I'm not really sure why it needs to be relevant. I don't get that. I guess it's so that you actually feel that there's a reason why you need to have that goal. And then the T is for timely, so that I've been coached before to set a time, like to say, right, by the 31st of January, I will have achieved this, and then write it in the future almost, like I was taught. And so I'd do all that. And then I'd be like, okay. So I'd sit back and I'd sort of work out stuff, but something just didn't click. Something really, really didn't click. And that for me was an aha moment when I did some of my NLP training. And the key thing for me was responsibility. And now that doesn't mean giving yourself a kick up the backside and saying, oh, you're rubbish, you didn't do it. The responsibility side of it is more that actually, are you the only person that can make this goal happen? And for me, some of my, as I say, my income goals, if I said I want to earn £10,000, that totally depends on my clients being in a position to spend that. I can't actually guarantee that. So therefore, I'm not responsible for it. What I could be responsible for is making sure that I've got an absolutely awesome marketing plan, that I'm making sure that I've got the offers right, that they're ticking all the boxes, that they're being promoted correctly, that my messaging is on point. I am totally 100% responsible for that. I'm not 100% responsible for people buying it. And that is where the goals get muddy, you see. So take a moment to just actually look at them and say, do I have 100% responsibility on making this happen? Because if you don't, you might need to look at what you can do towards that goal to make it happen. So for me, like with my planners, I bought 100 of them. So of course my goal is to sell all of them at full price because I don't make a great deal of profit on them. So in order for me to do that, again, I'm not responsible for people making that decision to actually buy it. I can only help them to come to a decision. I cannot actually physically reach into their wallets and their purses and get their cards and buy them for them. I know that it's a great product. I know that it works for people. I know that a lot of people, I can't say everybody because I don't know everybody, I haven't heard from everybody, but everybody that has got back to me has said, I love it. But I'm not responsible for how they use it. I'm not responsible for how they buy it. I have to just do what I can. So for me, in order to reach my target of selling them all, I am doing all that I possibly can. So I'll be making sure that I've got my posts up. I'll be making sure that I'm talking about it to different people all the time, that I'm actually finding new people that don't know about me every day. And I'm just doing one step every single day towards getting that goal. Yeah, because for me to say I'm going to sell 100 planners, that's not my total responsibility, if that makes sense. All I can do is what I can do, and I cannot buy it for people. So that's how you have to think about it. So really think about that in your goals. And actually, yes, if they're not, you need to tweak them, definitely. Now, the other thing about the reality of goals and how to bring them to life that was an aha moment for me was if they're not my trainer used the word ecological, but if they're not suitable to everybody in your life, right, it's not going to work. So for me, like I've got my husband Al and I've got the girls. So if my dream and my goal this year was to move to Dubai, buy 10,000 racehorses and travel the world, yeah, my subconscious is not going to allow me to do that. It's not, right? Because it's going to affect Alan too much. It's going to uproot my children from school and from their friends. And until I actually sit down and look at that and make it so that it is ecological for them, so that it is something that they would come on board with happily, my subconscious won't let that goal happen. It's not my goal, thank goodness. I don't want to move to Dubai, but I do want to be a little bit more of a laptop life, and I do want to get more holidays in next year. And luckily, with a lot of what I do, I can do that remotely. So that's something that hopefully next year I'll be coming to you from live sunny climates and nice hotel rooms at some point. So that's something that you really need to consider, because if it doesn't suit your loved ones, it's probably not going to be an easy goal for you to achieve. And you'll keep finding that you are not achieving. And the more we don't achieve our goals, the more we break our own trust in ourselves. And then the more we're not likely to even set the goals and so on. And this is why. And this is totally why. And it's simply because we weren't taught to work through these things. So once you've got those things set out so that you're aware that you've got total responsibility for this goal, it's your goal and nobody else can achieve it for you, and nobody else is an element of it, and you can be responsible 100% for it, and that actually it's going to support your loved ones and your lifestyle, and that you can live with that. I mean, if it's a change that it's going to uproot everybody, and if you can live with that, then that's fine. But like for me, I couldn't. There's no way my girls would forgive me. There's no way they'd forgive me. So that's very, 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 very key. And then the next thing to do is to try and sort of bring it to life and to use your senses. And for me, that is about bringing that vision, which is why vision boarding is a massive, powerful tool. But you could use like meditation. You can just close your eyes, and imagine, or you can journal this. But what you want to try and bring into it is when you think about this goal. So it's almost like you're taking yourself into the future when this has happened, and seeing how it feels. So you want to be using your sight. You want to be trying to feel it within your core. You want to be using all your senses. So think about like, what will you be touching? What will that feel like with your fingertips? Or how does it smell? What can you hear when you achieve this goal? Is there a certain taste? Will you be in a certain place? Can you imagine where you'd be when this happens and what you're going to do? Like, when you know that you've achieved it, so when you've got to that measurable point, will you be looking at your bank statement? Will you be on your phone looking at your bank statement? Will you be sat at your computer in a coffee shop? Really try and sort of have that vision, because that's going to help your senses and your subconscious to clock onto this goal. To actually think, oh, I've achieved it. I can achieve this, and move it forward. Because if there's any doubt in your mind that you think that you can actually achieve it, you're not going to achieve it. So take quite a bit of time to get this vision. And that's why in the planner, like the first thing that we do in the planner, you've got a little section for your vision. So you can just write here all your stuff. And by having it in your planner, it means every day you can take some time to come and have a look at it. And just read through it. You're not then having to keep writing it out or do anything, but you can actually look at it. I will probably at some point fill this front cover with like images. So it's like I use that as my vision board. It's quite, if you've got the hardcover, it's quite a nice place to get your Pritt stick out and actually to draw those pictures. I've already got one for it. Look, I've already got my office ready to go in. Because my plan is to move out of this room, which is currently the dining room, It's why there's a table. And I work in here. We don't often eat in here because it's my office, but technically it should be the dining room. And occasionally we have to pull out the table and chairs. Like for Christmas dinner next week, we'll be pulling out the table and chairs. And I don't like working in the dining room. It's much better than previously. If you followed me for a while, you'll know that before I used to have to work in the lounge, which was an open plan lounge, and we had like the lounge and the telly and the table behind me and stuff. And I just couldn't ever switch off. Whereas at least I can shut the door, and my lounge is a separate space to go and chill out. So that's my vision. Is next year I want to have enough money in the bank that I can buy myself a nice little office that I can have built in the garden and have it all insulated and have it really, really posh. So that's part of my vision. So I'm getting that into my planner. So that's really, really important to put it somewhere where you can see it every day. And I like to have it in my planner because I know I use it. And I know I pick it up every day and I handle it, and it's tactile and I can feel it, and I can and I hope that every time I imagine myself sort of rubbing over the 2020, this is all embossed, so it goes in. That sort of will help me to feel my vision. and see what it is that I want to be achieving. So that can really help. Or you could use the spaces at the back. You've got the back page as well, which I have currently just stuck in I've cut my stickers in half and stuck them into the back of my planner, because I've actually been using my my stickers already, because I made a mistake. I made a mistake here in my planner for February, and so I've covered it up and then stuck the next thing in. So having them stuck to your planner means that you're not having to then go, I've made a mistake. Because I don't know about you, but if I mess anything up, it puts me off and I don't want to keep using it. Okay, so we've got a bit of an idea about goals. So if you're watching, and that has given you an aha moment about your goals, about actually being responsible for them and why you've not achieved them before, because you weren't fully responsible for them because it depended on other people doing stuff. Do let me know in the comments if that actually made sense to you. And leave me a comment and let me know how you felt about that. So the next thing that you need to do is, once you know where you are, so you know where you are, you know what your goals are, you've worked through whether you can actually achieve them, whether they are something you're responsible for, that they are going to be good for everybody that you love, and that you've started to bring in your senses. One other quick note that I will say about goals right, is make sure when you think about them and you write them down, make sure that you're saying them in a positive sense. So, for example, if your goal is to give up smoking next year, don't write, I don't want to smoke next year. Because all that would tell your brain doesn't work out I don't. So in your subconscious it just hears I want to smoke next year. So it needs to be I want to give up smoking. I want to feel much better in myself. I want to be healthier. I want to be able to breathe fresher, and sort of to bring all that in and to use that to your advantage. So positive words. So then we're going to set up the plan, like your planner. So as you're going to bring those goals into reality, for me, it's really important that however you're going to plan supports that. So the first thing that I always do is I grab my planner, and this is what I've been up to today. I grab my planner and I want you to block out your holiday time, first and foremost, before you do anything. Self-care is totally, utterly essential. Yeah, you cannot run your business if you are not 100% well, and you need to be able to make sure that you can manage that. So take time to block out key dates, to block out important stuff. Like you'll see mine, I've grayed out all the school half terms, right? Because while I do try to work in those times, I know that the amount of work that I can physically do in that time is a lot less. So I've made sure that I've blocked all those out, and then my next job is to go and write those onto my I've got a Google Doc that I share with everybody that has all my holiday times, so that I can be helpful to my clients and they can check out whether I'm actually on full time or I'm on half time hours. So block out your holidays, because that will help you to actually see what your year is actually going to be like. If you just leave it all blank, it gets a little bit you think you've got all the time and then you haven't, and then it rolls up on you like it did me. So then you're going to look at all your goals and you're going to start to break them down. So like if your goal was for 10 years time, you need to think, well, okay, if I want to, like in 10 years time, if I want to have saved £10,000, right? You're going to then split that between that time. So you'll say, well, okay, so in 5 years time, I need to have saved £5,000, which means I need to save £1,000 in a year. How am I going to save? I mean, this is really silly low money, but if I need to save £1,000 a year, how much do I need to save a month? How much do I need to then be earning every month to put so much away? So you're going to break it down into steps, and you want to break it down into the smallest step possible. So if you can, keep going from so break it down for the year, break it to 9 months, break it to 6 months, break it to 3 months, then break it into months, break it into weeks, break it into days if you can. the lower that you go. And if you're really specific that, okay, I need to achieve this goal, and I need to do this on this week, and this on this week, and this on this week, and it's only one thing, because you've broken it so minutely, it will be much easier to achieve because it's only a small step. And then you can start getting that mapped out into your planner. So once you've broken it into like what you need to achieve for the month, in my planner, I've got, you've got like the month sections. So you can then say, okay, so December, so looking at your 12 that you've broken it into, you're probably then going to go, okay, which order do I need to go in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, and then write them into each month. So you've got them into each month and they're added into the planner. And then when you're looking at that one step for that month, okay, what little steps do I need to do to achieve that goal? And it can be really simple, basic stuff. You need to make sure that you cover all of that. So then you can set it up into a 90-day plan. So this is like there. So then once you've sort of broken it down into those things, like what 3 things do you need to achieve in those, like in those 3 months? What do I need to achieve each of those months? Because we've broken it right down. And then work out how you're going to track the progress. Now, this planner does include like monthly reviews. So that will help you to keep on track of the progress. You've got the monthly review page, and you've also got the key performance indicators. So you might actually now say, okay, so if my goal is to be able to sell more stuff, right? You might think, well, in order to sell more stuff, I need to grow my audience. I need to reach out a bit more. I need to do more cold traffic marketing. I need to be targeting people who've never heard of me. So it could be thinking, right, okay, so I need to, I'm going to try magazines, I'm going to try adverts, I'm going to do such and such. And then in order to track the progress, I might write in a specific key performance indicator. And somebody did say to me, what is a key performance indicator? And again, it's just things that will be trackable. So this is where like your goals become measurable. So it's those things that you can measure towards your goal. So there is space in here in the key performance indicators to write in what you can measure towards your goal there. So if it's a savings goal, you could have, okay, so my savings today, I've got 50p. My target is £1,000 this month, or my target is £100 this month, and then you've got the result. That's something that's trackable. Does that make sense? Do let me know. In the comments and in the captions if that makes sense. So find a way to track your progress, and it could be doing like a habit tracker where you tick things off because you've done like those tasks. If your task was to post in a Facebook group every day because that's where your audience is, and they're people who probably don't know you, then you can tick that off every day. There's different ways you can do it, and you can set it up in a journal, or you can set it up in some like bullet pages, but make sure that you know how you're going to track it. Like for my 90-day plan, I've actually got it stuck up on the wall here, and mine is just 3 steps. So I've got 3. So I almost think, okay, so I'll do 1 each month from each of my targets, and then I just tick them off. Or I did see one of my lovely friends, Laura, from Tell My Story. She'd done a big sort of 90-day plan on her like whiteboard, and she just put them all on post-it notes, all the things that she needs to do, and on a post-it note, and then when they're achieved, she moves the post-it note. Or you can set it up on Asana, and then have the cards and then move them across. However it works for you, but try and break it into like little small actionable steps, because that's how we learn. That's how we make progress. It's actually the little daily steps every single day. So make sure that you know what you must do each month, and then get them added in. So you could use, once you've broken that down, you could even come to your planner and in the top here, today you need to do this, today you need to do this, today you need to, you've got that facility to do that. And then make sure that you know when you are going to actually take time to review. Now, because the monthly review is automatically sort of as you scroll along, hopefully it'll become something that you can do quite easy because it's just there as you sort of plan your week. I often do a review every Friday, and it's called a CEO report that I do. And if you look it up, it's by Rainer and Co. If you Google her, she does like a CEO report that is a type form, and you just answer these questions and then it puts it into a spreadsheet so you can look back on the year. But yeah, make sure that you're actually reviewing your progress, and that will help you to stay on track. So I hope this has been a useful session for you. I hope you've learned something. If you've got any questions, as always, please do leave me a comment and I will come back. And make sure you stick around for the next one. There won't be another one for 2019 now. So this is the last one for 2019. So I really wish you an awesome Christmas. Very happy New Year. I'm looking forward to seeing you in 2020 when we are going to have a ball. And you can join me live in the group on Fridays. I will be live this Friday at 12:30 p.m. That's GMT, London time. 12:30 p.m. To have a little bit of a chat. So if you get any questions from this, please do let me know if there's anything you'd like me to cover or answer in advance, especially if I need to find some answers for you. Hopefully I won't. Hopefully I'll know them. But join me for a little bit of a chat and a Q&A session, and to go over anything that came up for you. And also, if you haven't already signed up on my website, if you look at the equinebusinessassistant.co.uk, there is a free mini course that will help you to do all the online stuff that you need to do. Because I work a lot coaching and teaching people how to manage their social media, their email marketing, and I do some done for you services on that too. So please do let me know if you've enjoyed this, and I will be planning out January very, very soon. In January, we are going to be covering getting your marketing ready for the year and making sure that is in a way that's actually going to be sustainable, that we're looking at different types of marketing and how you can have super success in 2020 with ease. Because I know marketing, especially when it comes to content and online stuff, can be a little bit overwhelming, and there's a lot of people telling you how to do it, and some of it is just tosh. Some of it is total tosh, and it's confusing and it's hard work, and I don't think it should be. So I will help you with that in 2020. But if there's anything you'd like me to cover, please do drop me a line, Jenny at the equinebusinessassistant.co.uk, and I will make sure I cover that for you. So I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.